Have you ever noticed how some women never flirt in an obvious way? They don't make bold moves. They don't spell it out. Instead, they observe. They test awareness. And this becomes especially true when you're a man over 50. Women behave differently around you then, not colder, just more careful. They don't want to appear desperate. They don't want to seem overly available. So rather than showing attraction directly, they ask questions. And here's the part most men never realize. When a woman feels genuine attraction toward an older man, she will almost always ask two very specific questions. Not sometimes. Not. Maybe. Always. It's like a quiet language hiding in plain sight. Many men over 50 believe they've become invisible to younger women, to women their age, to romance itself. But the truth is far from that. Mature men often become more attractive with age when they understand how female psychology actually works. The problem isn't women. It's misunderstanding. It's moving through life assuming she's just being polite when in reality she was opening a door. Women rarely express attraction directly. Instead, they test your emotional presence, your calm, your awareness, your ability to notice subtle shifts. That's the foundation of feminine psychology. And the moment a woman begins to see you as a man she could trust, emotionally, physically, intimately, her behavior changes. Casual conversation turns into intentional curiosity. She begins asking questions designed to reveal three things. First, your grounding. Are you steady or uncertain? Second, your availability. Not just practically, but emotionally. Third, your perception. Can you recognize interest without needing it spelled out? That's where the two questions appear. But to understand why they matter so much, you need to understand the psychology behind them. Most men over 50 expect clear signals. You grew up in a world where people said what they meant. Women today, even emotionally mature women, communicate differently. They don't say, "I'm attracted to you. I want to get closer. I'm thinking of you romantically." Instead, they explore. They ask carefully chosen questions to see whether you're a man they can move toward without risking rejection. Because here's the quiet fear many women carry, especially around older men. If I show interest too clearly, he'll think I'm desperate. So attraction gets disguised as curiosity. It gets hidden inside questions that look harmless to an untrained eye, and if you miss them, she usually won't offer again. Women rarely repeat emotional invitations. Feminine psychology works in layers. Men express interest through action. Women express interest through inquiry. When a man is interested, he offers something: help, direction, protection, presence. When a woman is interested, she asks something, a question that invites emotional closeness. There are countless questions a woman might ask in daily life, but only two appear consistently when she's exploring intimacy with a mature man. Before revealing them, understand this: she's not asking because she's curious about facts. She's asking because she wants to feel you. She wants to sense, are you calm? Are you confident? Are you receptive to her energy? Do you stand comfortably in your masculine or hide behind politeness? These questions are not informational. They're relational. They're small emotional bridges she places carefully between herself and a man she feels drawn to, just to see whether he steps forward with presence. And when he does, everything changes. Most men answer these questions literally. A grounded man hears what's underneath them, because when she asks, she isn't collecting data. She's checking connection. She's checking awareness. She's checking masculine presence. When a woman is drawn to you, she doesn't need displays of wealth, strength, or long stories. She needs to feel awareness, the calm, embodied presence that younger men often lack. That's why these two questions matter so deeply. They aren't random curiosity. They're invitations. The first question a woman asks when she desires intimacy with an older man tests one thing: your availability. Not Your calendar. Your heart. She wants to know whether there is space in your life for her. This is not a logistical question. It's psychological. It's her way of asking, are you emotionally open? Or emotionally sealed? Are you capable of connection? Or hiding inside routine? Can I move closer without being pushed away? Women don't want to waste emotional energy, so they test openness before revealing interest. This question is the feminine equivalent of a man leaning closer. 2. See whether a woman leans in or pulls back. Most men miss it because it sounds like small talk. The second question always tests something deeper. Your direction. Not your career. Not your achievements. Not your status. Your inner direction. Women don't follow men who drift. They open to men who are anchored. This question helps her sense, is this man emotionally alive? Does he know who he is? Is his presence stable enough to feel safe? Does he live with standards or simply pass time? This question isn't about facts. It's about essence. When she asks it, she's imagining what being with you would feel like. A woman may notice a man's body, but she moves toward him when she desires his presence. That's why these questions are especially important for men over 50. By this stage of life, women assume you've already lived many emotional chapters. They hesitate to enter unless they feel they won't become a background character. These 2 questions, subtle, gentle, almost invisible, help her determine whether there's room for her, and whether you're living with intention or merely surviving. You might miss compliments. You might overlook body language. You might ignore eye contact. But if you miss these 2 questions, you miss the moment she's opening the door. And once that door closes, it rarely opens again. Now let's name them. Question 1. Do you spend a lot of time alone? At first glance, it seems harmless. It isn't. It's a signal flare. It's her way of asking, is there room for me in your world? She may phrase it differently. Do you usually go out by yourself? You seem comfortable being on your own. Are you seeing anyone lately? This question is never about loneliness. It's about access. She asks it only when she's already imagined herself somewhere near your life. If she felt nothing for you, she wouldn't care how you spend your time. But when she's drawn to the calm strength many mature men carry, she wants to know whether she can enter your world without forcing her way in. Most men answer literally, yes, I'm alone a lot. Not really, it depends. A grounded man hears the meaning beneath it. She's checking openness. She's testing availability. She's sensing whether intimacy is possible. The way you respond matters. Answer with balanced masculinity, calm, open, steady, never needy. Something like, I value my space, but I'm always open to meaningful company. Or, I enjoy my routines, but I make room for what matters. And it subtly suggests she could be someone you'd welcome in. That tone, open but not empty, receptive but not longing, creates warmth and safety. And that naturally leads her to the second question. Question 2. What are you looking for these days? This is not casual. This is not curiosity. This is evaluation. If she felt no interest, she wouldn't risk asking something this personal. It's vulnerable. It's revealing. It's intimate. She may phrase it differently. What direction are you moving? What do you want at this stage of life? What are you focusing on lately? She needs to feel something essential, that he knows who he is, that he knows what he wants, that he isn't wandering or stuck in the past, that he moves with intention. Men who answer too literally lose the moment. I'm just taking it day by day. I'm not sure. I'm looking for peace. To her, those sound like drifting. Women don't invest emotionally in drifting. Men, you don't need a speech. You don't need to explain your whole life. You just need direction. I'm building a strong, intentional chapter with the right people. These responses show movement, clarity, presence. They create space where she can imagine herself walking beside you, and that's powerful, Because here's the truth many men over 50 never hear. Women don't want a man who is merely present. They want a man who is alive inside. That's why these two questions are tied so closely to desire. Women don't test randomly. The second probes direction, a man who is open and moving with. Purpose creates emotional gravity. Women don't need perfection. They need clarity. Clarity creates safety. Safety awakens desire. That's why these questions appear again and again, even when she doesn't consciously realize she's doing it. Picture a real moment. You're talking, maybe in a cafe, a bookstore, a gathering online. The conversation flows easily. She laughs a little more than necessary. Her tone softens. Then she asks, "So, do you spend a lot of time alone?" That's the first step. Later, minutes, days, she asks, "What are you looking for at this stage of your life?" That's the second step. These aren't coincidences. They're emotional checkpoints. Women almost never ask these questions of men they don't feel something for. And remember this, a woman who desires intimacy won't announce it. She won't confess it outright. She won't chase. She will ask two questions. Are you open? And are you moving with purpose? Those questions aren't about facts. They're about connection. If you recognize them, the moment opens. If you miss them, it disappears. Women rarely repeat an emotional invitation. If you take one thing from this, let it be this. A woman doesn't test your words. She tests your awareness. And when you learn to recognize how interest is quietly offered, you'll never again wonder whether a woman is drawn to you.